Hello truckers and welcome back to American Truck Simulator with Realistic Economy. We are in patch 1.49 and I'm finally here. I had a mod conflict causing my game to crash. I had to go mod by mod to figure out what was going on. And I think we're in finally. So I think the big changes we're going to see in patch 1.49 is actually the skyboxes and the new weather effects. I had to disable the fall seasonal mod that we were running. I knew that was going to be a problem, so I disabled that. Another big thing that's come to patch 1.49, and we're here right at a repair shop. We are in Missoula, Montana, by the way. But if I enter here, we go to the repair shop, and we go to service. I think we will get a better detail. Truck damage report, 5%. We can kind of see the different... it's looking rather different in here for sure. So we can repair all, replace all. So I'm not really sure what the difference is between repair all and replace all. I think repair all would be just fixing the old original parts. When we replace all, we get a new part in there. If I hit replace all, it would cost me $2,849. If I repair all, only cost me $200. So there is a difference there, I guess. I guess if the engine gets more and more damage on it, so there's damage and wear. Interesting. So I would assume damage is something that can be replaced. Wear is something that would have to be repaired. Maybe. I'm not quite sure. But that is a different aspect of it. The other big thing that came into patch 1.49, which it seems like a good idea, but really I'm not sure how big of a deal it actually is. Maybe you guys out there can tell me, because I don't think it's that big of a deal. A selection of all the trucks is now available at considerably discount of used truck offers. So now there are used trucks you can go in and shop for. You can see the condition. The worst condition vehicle has significant mechanical issues affecting performance and reliability. You may need to consider a total restoration or replacement of multiple parts. All the way up to vehicle is in excellent condition with minimal wear. So we just go to OK here. So we are in the used section here. We can see there's a truck here with over 500,000 miles on it. Condition is a 1-star, but you can get it for $21,995. And of course, you know, all the options will be kind of different. So you can kind of see the wear on that vehicle is pretty darn high. But then you can find something like this over here with almost 450,000 miles on it. Condition's a 4-star and is 68,000. Now, we do play on hard economy, and even on hard economy, I find that the money comes in at a reasonable rate, and early on, you can, of course, get yourself a loan and get yourself a brand new truck rather early. But, I mean, it is interesting. It is kind of, it is new to the game itself. Oh, yeah, and you can shop by brands as well. So if you're looking for a particular brand, you can do that. So I'm not really sure how many of us are going to use it. Will I use it? Probably not. But it's interesting nonetheless. For people that are going to be using it, or if you have used it, have you found out that it's that much better than getting yourself a new truck and repairing it to 100% if you can or you cannot? Also, there are new transports available to us. We already knew those, but you can now also take new ones at Pueblo and Colby, Kansas. Which is interesting because Kansas isn't quite here yet. It will be in about a week or so, which we're getting ready for. But anyways, we are ready to move on. Speaking of Kansas, because we're in Missoula, we're going to try to get on down to the border of Kansas. So next episode should be for the Kansas update. I actually need to get to a rest area here. Oh, parking brake wasn't on, so I teleported here. Where are we resting here? Where is the rest area? Let me go to the map here and zoom on in so I can see exactly where the rest area is. Looks like it's to our left. Of course, with the new patch, it does bring it back to your garage, but you do get a free teleport now to go to wherever you were. And of course, I was in Missoula. So here we are. Please tell me I can sleep here. There we go. Not ready to sleep just yet. So we got advanced time here. There we go. 8 o'clock at night. We're going to bed with about $158,000 in the bank account. Should wake up at 6 a.m. Let's see how our drivers did overnight. Up to 171,000. We are probably going to get the drivers returning with no lows because that happens once in a while with a new patch, when a new patch comes out. But we are up to 171, which we're getting close, as we saw at the end of the last episode. Either a Peterbilt or a Western Star, we can kind of possibly afford one of those that we're looking for. But probably not today, not map. I need to go. I'm so used to doing Alaskan road truckers. I'm used to doing that. We need a job here. So let's go with freight. If I can't find one with freight, we're going to go with something else here. So what I would like to get down to is Burlington. If I can get down to Burlington. All right, I got us a load going to Denver, which is going to be about as close as I can possibly get. I just remembered as I started driving here that I had to make sure all my lights are turned on, which now is another option you can have, as well as to having automatic lights for your trucks. When it gets dark, the lights will come on, so on and so forth. Yeah, so it was kind of interesting logging in for the first time for patch 1.49. Instantly, I mean, I did some updates. Coast to coast, I did update right away. The environmental mod that we were using, the fall mod, I definitely turned that off because I knew that'd be a problem, so I turned that off. And yeah, one by one, I had to go through the mods because my game kept crashing. And for me, I'm not going to say anything about anything bad about the mod itself, but the Jazzy Cat AI traffic was causing the problem for me, but I have not updated that mod in so long. It doesn't surprise me, so I'm pretty sure maybe the current version is fine for patch 1.49, but I have not updated the AI traffic from Jazzy Cat in a long time, so I'm pretty sure that has something to do with it. So we're probably not going to get down to Denver today, so we'll probably have another episode coming out this week, getting ourselves ready for the Kansas DLC coming out. Alright, so yeah, we are taking this. Thank you very much. Take the job. And I guess it's going to be out back somewhere. I see the little white cone flashing at me. Ooh, okay, so it wasn't facing the way I thought it was going to be facing. Spin around here. Well, this feels kind of weird. Going from didn't shift from Alaskan road truckers to ATS and then back and forth. Doesn't matter which one I do. It's fine. Whatever I record first, I seem to do fine there. But then whatever I record after that, I do terrible. And I kind of forgot I can stick my head out the window here. I was backing up as I was in Alaskan road truckers. Okay, we are coupling on up. All right, we are good to go. Good thing is my minimal advisory screen at the bottom is working for patch 1.49. Can't live without that mod. I mean, I probably could, but I'd rather not. Get myself in line here. So like I said, it would be kind of nice to get into Kansas when the Kansas comes out and have ourselves a new truck. Everyone said, yeah, when I asked a couple episodes ago to go ahead and, get ourselves a new truck and give our driver in Dallas, which we don't have yet, of course, they can have this truck. I mean, we're just barely getting close to 15,000 miles on this rig, which in trucking world is just, you know, you still got the new truck smell. So you can see we got some fog here. Been so long now since I really driven without some mods, so it's hard to tell what the base game has been like for a while. I'm so used to running so many mods. I think I got right now 10 mods deactivated. I really need to go through my mods list and delete a lot of them. A lot of them are old, a lot of them are outdated and probably shouldn't be using. What's the speed limit through here? 25, huh? And I'm doing 33. I have new mail. That's interesting. Not used for mail coming up after I check everything. I'm actually so curious. I gotta go see what the new mail is. I'm not used to getting mail after we check everything. Used trucks for sale. Okay. Yeah, I kind of went over that. Dear Sir, Madam. Yeah, we're excited to announce. Yeah, okay. We didn't know about the used trucks. What's the weight of this one? What am I delivering? Ventilation shaft, 12,000 pounds. So I'm carrying feathers back there pretty much. So I'll have to update Jazzy Cat's AI traffic. I love those mods. That's because it adds so much different vehicles that we see on the road. But right now it's hard to see the road at all with all the fog that we got. Really foggy. Now the one thing they were talking about with the skybox, and they've done a whole rework on it, is how the moon and all that kind of stuff looks. We don't drive that much at nighttime, so it's going to be kind of hard to see anything new there. Okay, so I had my own lane there. Wasn't quite sure on that rotary how that was. So this load does not need to be there until the end of Tuesday. So we got 2 full days to get it there. We're not going to be there today, no matter what I do. So let's just take our time. I'm not in a rush because we're really just trying to get... I mean, after I get to Denver, I'll probably bobtail it over to Burlington, Colorado. .65 is the speed limit through here. Okay. So we can do... Like I said, I'm not in that big of a rush. I will kind of put it at 70. Yeah, because I expect the speed limit to go up. Is it 75? No, it's 70. So we are going 70. But yeah, I'm not really in a rush. We just want to get to the Colorado-Kansas border. That way when Kansas does drop on the 30th of November, we can just hop and skip right over the border and we're ready to tour Kansas. This fog is, as they would say, thick as pea soup. I don't think I've ever really had pea soup, and I don't know how thick it is, but I'm guessing it means that you can't see far. I don't know what truck dealership is in Denver, but maybe we'll have a look. Now just remember, we got to pay $6,000 every day for the loan interest. But even if we do that today, we are at 177, so we're not going to drop below once. Well, I shouldn't say that. Drivers could be returning without loads, and we will still have the repair and fuel cost to do. This will also be a good test. Like I said, I disabled about 10 mods trying to figure out which one was causing the problem. And there's some mods I've been running for so long. And if I like the way the game is, then I'll probably just delete those mods. Just trying to see if the game seems any crisper, if the skybox looks that much better currently, and I don't want to say I see that much difference. I mean, right now it looks pretty darn crisp because, as I mentioned, I just came from recording this afternoon's, if you're watching when it goes live, this afternoon's Alaskan Road Truckers episode. And as we know, the graphics in that game are nothing like what they are in this game currently. So right now it does look very crisp to me, nice and clean, very well detailed. But it could just because I'm coming from that game to this one right away. And of course, like I said, we'll have to have another episode. I don't know what day it'll be this week, but it will be before the 30th because we got to get the truck over to the border. And then when Kansas comes out, we'll probably do like we always do when a state gets dropped. We'll have a couple days in a row of some ATS traveling around Kansas. But we are just about ready to get ourselves another driver on the road. And it was kind of brought up, as I think I mentioned it last episode, that someone did suggest that maybe what we should start doing with the money that we get is upgrading the trucks that we got for our drivers. So in the very beginning for the company, we were kind of just buying mostly the low-end trucks. I think we did upgrade a few of them. But we were buying some of like the $120,000, $130,000 trucks, when really we should be getting the trucks worth about the 150 range. And by doing so, they should be able to haul bigger loads, so on and so forth, which does appear to be true. In the beginning, we couldn't tell. There was a big debate between some of us, like it doesn't matter, it does matter what kind of truck the workers have. A sleeper does not matter that much, I don't think, because we can't sleep in the truck anyways. So having a sleeper doesn't really mean anything. You still have to pull into a rest area to sleep. And you can have a truck without a sleeper and it pull into a rest area and sleep in the truck still, even though it's not a sleeper truck. Unless they have changed that recently. That's the way it used to be. Unless they've changed it. If they've changed it, let me know below in the comments. But I still think if you don't have a sleeper truck, you can still sleep anywhere inside of a rest area. Kind of nice only hauling 12,000 pounds. We're going uphill and not really skipping a beat. Only 45 miles an hour downhill, but we're going to let it roll. We're going to send it until we get behind another truck, I guess. Just making sure I don't have an exit coming on up. Didn't really check the route I was taking today. Because lately we've been taking long trips and it's pretty much like, hey, we're going to be on this interstate for the whole episode. But today I think we'll be interchanging here and there. I assume at some point we'll just be getting onto I-25 southbound. As I mentioned many times before, I used to travel to Colorado and Wyoming often. Not that much up into Montana. And I can't picture if I-25 goes all the way up into Montana or not. If it does, I assume that's what we're just going to... If it does, then we're just going to connect right to it. I think this trucker got in this left-hand lane and he realized he doesn't really want to be here, but he's stuck here now. Actually, you know what? If everyone else is passing on the right, we'll do the same. That's why I kind of hate being in the right lane, because you get stuck behind the traffic. And when they exit, for some reason, they almost come to a complete stop before they actually exit. Traffic seems rather thick today. Kind of like me. Thick in the brain. All I want to do is get around this guy. Welcome to Montana. Did I leave Montana? Didn't realize we left Montana there for a second. Scooch back on over. We will see a difference, I guess, as well with thunderstorms. I guess the thunderstorms or lightning is a little bit more flashy, if you will. That's my loan payment. I haven't hit nothing. Not yet, anyways. I almost said what happened in Alaskan Road Truckers, but that episode won't be out for a couple more hours. So I don't want to give anything away. I almost said something. But yeah, you'll have to watch the episode to find out, I guess. Yeah, so this truck will be going to Dallas. And like I said, if we can work it out to where we can get ourselves a Peterbilt or a Western Star, then we will do so. But I would like to see a little bit more money in the bank account. If we can get in the 180s, that is what I'm looking for. And I'm hoping by, maybe not by the end of this episode, but I would assume maybe by the next episode we sleep through the night, our workers will get more deliveries done. I think we got, 20 workers in the fleet? Took us a while to get the company going, but on hard economy, that's the whole point. Make it just a little bit more difficult. I guess the used trucks in the beginning, if you're running the base economy, this is would be kind of nice because you wouldn't have to take out a loan probably to get your truck. If I can remember correctly, which it's been a while since I've done a new profile with base economy stats. I mean, you can get yourself a brand new truck. I mean, not pimped out, but I mean, you can get one for 130,000 relatively quick because I think level 2 you can get your first loan, and you don't have to borrow that much. But I mean, if you can get yourself a used truck for like 30,000, if you just do a couple of deliveries for other companies, you may not have to take out a loan at all. I see you back there, green car, but I think I can get back in without hitting you. I think I got plenty of room, and must be we did. As I mentioned, though, I don't think I'll be buying a used truck. Because this company is making a decent amount of cash for itself now. I do like the fact that we can kind of get into the point of repair or replace. Although the price still isn't that expensive because we got insurance to pay for most of it. Wonder if I can get to Cheyenne, Wyoming today. That'd be pretty good. I believe it's like 3 hours shy, but if I backtrack, I don't think I'll make Cheyenne. But this is where we exit I-90 apparently. Oh, thank you. You tapped on your brakes to get into the fast lane. That's very generous of you. Oh, no. This has a sense of a detour up ahead. I mean, everyone's kind of going around it. Looks like traffic on the off-ramp. I got this set so low, but I get this so many times. Alright, so we gotta... How bad is this going to be now? Like I said, I'm not really in a rush. Ooh, that does kind of suck. I was trying to figure out a way to take an off ramp going this way and just cutting back, but I don't think that's a possibility. Oh man, I mean, this does hurt. I think that added an extra hour. Trip time 11 hours. Hang on, trip time 11 hours. Okay, so trip time is 10 hours, 29 minutes. If I click on this, it's now 11 hours. So it only adds an extra half an hour-ish to the trip. All right. Let's get back up to speed and do what we do. Oh, now a way station ahead. You know they're going to pull me in at this point. Just because I'm getting up to speed after having to take a detour. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. This is where you probably would need to take a driver break, get out and walk around for half an hour. Luckily, I'm not in too much of a rush, but then again, you know, maybe I will be. I don't know. Come on, pass inspection or do whatever. Either you pass or pull over. Starting to get a grumpy truck driver right now. And let me guess, you're gonna probably stop when you exit the or try to enter the interstate again, right? You're not going to just merge in nicely. You're going to come to a complete stop. No, he merged right on in. Luckily, the game clears traffic for us. Just riding the rumble strips on the side over there to keep myself awake and make sure Cindy's over there. Make sure she's fine. Make sure she's not dozing off. Want her to experience the the bad morning that I'm having along with me. It's been a long evening of recording, basically, with RTS having the same issue as I had here, because Alaskan Road Truckers had an update since I last recorded, and I had some problems with that. And then I spent an hour trying to figure out what mod was causing my game to crash here. But we're rolling. We're rolling now. Don't want to be in this left lane too much longer because our exit should be coming up rather quickly, I would think. Yep. Next one is ours. Do we get our own lane when we come up here? Looks like we do. Yeah, those road detours can be... They do add to the game, which is, you know, it is nice, but sometimes where they're at. Luckily for us in this one here, it doesn't add that much extra time to the trip. But if you're calculating, like, can I get a load to a destination? It's like, oh yeah, I got about an hour or 2 hours to spare. Should not be a problem. Then you run to a detour. And of course, we don't have all the roads that are really in the world. in this game, so we do have to travel an hour or so out of our way. Sometimes 2 or 3, and if you're on the coast-to-coast map in the barren parts and you need an exit, you may actually have to travel 300 miles to make a roundabout way to get back there. We have done that a couple times throughout this series, to where we kind of got around the barricades and went through an accident scene. Because it would have been, I think, the one I'm thinking of would have added like 6 hours to our trip, which was not good at all, because we were right to where we had to deliver. And we would have been way late. All right, now that I also think about it, also in this patch, I don't want to say some smaller parts, but there's been some reworks to Salt Lake City and the mountain ranges, I believe, and something in California. The Packard Technical Center, it was added to Washington State. What else is it? Sorry, I'm trying to read my other screen, and of course, I got track IR on, so I turn my head to the left to read the screen. You're gonna know what I'm doing. New cargo being done. Hopefully no cars around me right now. Use trucks. Oh, key bindings. So I think previously for key bindings, which I think you can only have one key to bind a certain interaction. You can now do like Control L or Control. You can use 2 keys to activate something. So if you're running out of keys, or you're used to something from one game to another, you like it to be the same, you can now bind, like you may have to hit like Shift R for something. You can keep bind it that way. And I think the mountain ranges, something in California was done as well. I don't want to keep turning my head, and I don't want to keep driving off the road like I've been doing, so. Of course, Salt Lake City in California, we're not going to be anywhere near those areas for a while. We'll definitely be around Kansas for, like I said, I think it was 14 cities that we can travel to. Now, how many cities do we knock off per episode? Who knows? I'm sure there will be some community event for the Kansas DLC. Probably deliver to and from every city, going at least 150 miles. Something like that is what they usually do. But I'm guessing all the way through Christmas, which seems weird to say is only a month away if you're watching this when it goes live anyways. Welcome to Wyoming. But yeah, a month away for Christmas, so probably all the way to Christmas will be kind of around Kansas. And California, we're kind of going to be a long ways away from California. Oh, and I have been asked recently on the Discord channel, and this question gets brought up every so often, about adding more of the maps to our series. And the way it's currently going in ATS, with, of course, Kansas coming out this week, we know Arkansas and Nebraska are also announced. When those will be coming out? I assume Nebraska will be the next one. That'll probably be, and I don't have any information on this whatsoever, but I would say not until at least February. They probably want to give us at least 3 months in between, but I think I said that once before, and within a month of one state dropping, they dropped another one, so you never know. So we know, Kansas is in a week. Nebraska was announced not long after Kansas was announced, and Arkansas was announced a while back as well. So we got plenty of areas to travel around. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, 3 o'clock. Cindy, you got to go ahead and check. We got 2 hours left to drive. We got to find a rest area for the evening. So, world map. So where does 2 hours put us? We did just get into Sheridan. Yeah, so there's Cheyenne. I don't think we're going to make Cheyenne. So let's see if we can get down to Casper here. We do a loop-de-loop. Next checkpoint is 2 hours and 2.5 hours. That is a weird... How about if we just do that? Yeah, 2.5 hours. That will do. I don't want to stop way back up here because it'll be way short. So, yeah, we'll just drive a little bit over today, I think. We might make up a little bit of time, but 2.5 hours. It's going to put us just shy of 6. We should be only driving to 5, but we'll push it a little bit today. I was kind of shooting for Cheyenne, but when I started doing some math and doing some ETAs, I'm like, yeah, Cheyenne seems like it's out of reach. Cheyenne to Denver is going to be like about 2 hours. 2 hours of driving, give or take, depending on the traffic and such, and where we exactly go in Denver, which I didn't check to see where we're going. Yeah, I also deactivated a mod called Real Companies, and I actually had 2 Real Company mods going, so I don't know which one was doing some of them. So some of these company names we're seeing is going to be the first time for me seeing them, so I don't know what mod, if they're part of a mod or if they're part of the base game. I have no idea. Didn't realize I had 2 Real Company mods going. Somehow they weren't conflicting one another, but that could have been one of those things that we were seeing once in a while with like trailers and such, to where the trailers would change when I got within a certain distance of them. So that could have been a thing. I've been kind of keeping an eye on that myself, driving on through to see if I see any of that happening. I haven't seen it, so probably have to leave one of them deactivated. I really need to go into my mods list in my folder and just kind of delete. I got so many coast to coast mods in there. I need to delete all the old ones because they're no good, and just make it easier when I'm activating and deactivating like I was earlier to try to find the current one. Then I was on the Steam Workshop because that's where I get some of my mods as well. Trying to see when they were last updated, and some of them have been updated for ages. But if they work, they work. Does it say speed limit 80? That says speed limit 80. Well, we can kind of gain a little bit of time by actually doing the speed limit. Been kind of cruising that 70 all day long, so I didn't feel like I was in a rush, but we'll speed it up. Shouldn't have no problem doing 80. We only got 12,000 pounds behind us. And then we will have a quick look to see where the truck dealers are. I have noticed, really today, since we woke up, I don't think any deliveries by our other drivers have been completed. So I hope they're not all this turning around, coming back empty-handed, because that would hurt us for a while. So here is the rest area. I was originally thinking like it would be too short for us. Still would have been too bad because it's somewhere near 4:30, so that's not too bad. I do like seeing how ATS put those in. We just saw in the video like about 15 seconds ago now, you saw some like gates that would block off the interstate. That would be for like when the roads have snow drifts in them, or if the road's impassable basically. But mostly because of snow drifts. At least that's what I saw when I was out there. It only affected me once when I was out there. We were staying at one of her friends' cabins, and we went to go home, and we got to the interstate, and the interstate was closed, so we went back to the cabin and stayed there for another couple days until we knew it was a calm day. Went out, and the interstates were open. And you may be asking, why don't you just check your cell phone? Well, where we were staying, no cell phone reception. And for those of you wondering where that cabin was, it was actually out in Centennial. I used to love going to, there was a, I don't want to call it a bar and grill, but there was a nice little restaurant there, and the steaks out of that place were great. Okay, so 5 o'clock, got to keep her eye open. Oh, I see a helicopter. Wait, is this... Don't tell me this is where my exit is for... No, this isn't our exit. I saw an exit and I see a helicopter. I'm like, don't tell me we got another detour. No, we're down and around the corner. Okay, that's not blocking the exit anyways. You gonna get back over? No? Alright. Shoshone. That's what the exit was for, Shoshone. Just want to make sure I'm not going past our exit. Speed limit's only 60 miles an hour through here. Alright, I think we're coming up to it. I do see the symbols for fuel and rest. But there are a couple of them there in that general area. Okay, so it's not the first one I saw. It's the second one off in the distance. Evansville. Oh, we got a green light. And I think I'm fueling up on this side here, so we're going to turn in right here. $4.76 for diesel in Wyoming. And this is one of the mods I thought could have been causing a problem. I didn't know how it would with the price difference. But this mod has been updated just recently. Not since the patch came out, but just to know that the mod author is keeping us updated on the price changes of diesel fuel. And we're going to pick ourselves a nice little rest area or a parking spot here. we go. Park her on up. Turn off the engine. But don't go to bed just yet because I don't do that until 8 o'clock. But there we have it. Not a bad parking job. We're in between the lines. That's what matters. That's what matters most. I do want to check on like a couple of things. First thing I need to check on is driver manager. Just to see what our drivers are doing here. Let's see. These are all on the road. And then these are currently resting. It says that they're hauling something. So that's good. Looks like he'll be done in about 3 hours. So that's not too bad. But what I want to check on, of course, is truck dealers. That's a Peterbilt. Well, that's what we're kind of looking for. Denver, that's Colorado Springs. Denver is international. Well, there's Freightliner, Kenworth, Mack. I mean, there is a Peterbilt right here in Casper. I mean, how far are we actually away from that? Now, I can't really do it now because we're at 170. I don't think we have enough. It seems like it's a long ways off, but it's not really. It's just right on down the road. So if I were to select on that one there, buy online. So I think a 389 is what I was looking at, right? Well, this custom configuration here, let's see what we got. I actually like that look a little bit better than that look. That looks a little bit too boxy. I mean, that is more boxy in itself, but for some reason that just seems more bulky and boxy. Not sure I like that too much. The chassis, I would like to upgrade it to... get ourselves a 300-gallon tank. I really don't want a mid-lift. So a 6x4 300-gallon would be good. What engine is in there? Well, we can't have that kind of an engine. We want to bulk it on up. Oh, there is a 625 engine. And the torque is the same... more horsepower. The torque is the same at less RPM, so I'll probably go with the Caterpillar. We would need... I mean, 13 speed is good, but I want it on 13 speed with a retarder in it. 162. And then it starts getting down to all of the fine stuff. So that technically we can afford. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and leave. So we may be starting next episode by going down to the dealership. We'll have to drop off the trailer. And then I can take the low roof sleeper and head on down and finish up the load, because we should be able to get there. We got a whole day to get the load down to Denver. We're not that far from Denver. Cheyenne to Denver is about 2 hours. So we got about 4 hours of driving there. And originally, like I said, I want to get over to Burlington. So if I go to, world map, it should be a road going right from Denver over to Burlington, right? Yeah, right on the I-70. That's what we want to do. So maybe we'll lucky and get a load. Maybe out of there going over to Burlington. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm thinking next episode, if the money is good in the morning, we will go ahead and get our not trade in. Just buy a truck. We're not trading in anything. This truck will go to Dallas, and we'll get ourselves a driver as well and get someone else on the road, and we'll have a new truck. And then that way I can kind of get started on maybe a paint job on the Peterbilt for the Kansas DLC. Like I said, I had a couple things in mind, but I didn't know what truck we're going to be, but it could be a Peterbilt. Just got to make sure the money goes up by morning time. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in American Truck Simulator with realistic economy. But until then, have a good one.